So, good afternoon to all. Slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in morning classes, we discussed about the tongue in different species. Now we discuss about the hard palate and soft palate. You know the boundary of the oral cavity. I told you already, boundary of the oral cavity, the floor of the oral cavity, roof of the oral cavity, lateral wall of the oral cavity. So in this section, I told you the roof of the oral cavity is formed by the hard palate. Roof of the oral cavity is formed by the hard palate. So here we will discuss in detail about the description of the hard palate. So this hard palate, I told you in the osteology classes, this hard palate, this is the osseous plate that form the roof of the mouth. Osseous plate that form the roof of the oral cavity, that form the hard palate. So, uh, beside the osseous plate, some mucous membranous structures is also there. So, hard palate is formed by the mucous membrane and the osseous plate. So, if you will see in the fresh state, then you will found the osseous plate and the mucous membrane. Here, this hard palate is bounded by dental pad in front view. If you will see the front view, we discussed in previous also. This is the hard palate, and here is the rostral part of the hard palate. I told you this rostral part of the hard palate is bounded by dental pad. Dental pad in case of the cattle, because in this species there is no upper incisor teeth. So in place of upper incisor teeth, dental pad is there. So its anterior boundary is formed by the dental pad. Likewise, posteriorly, posterior part of this hard palate is continue with the soft palate. Posterior part of this hard palate, this is the hard palate, and here is the posterior part. So this posterior part of the hard palate is continuing in the soft palate, whereas anterior part is bounded with the dental pad. So the mucous membrane is continuous behind with the soft palate, as I told you, and the lateral part of the hard palate is attached with the gum. Lateral part of the hard palate, this part is attached with the gum. You see, this is the alveoli of the teeth. So this lateral part is attached with the gum, and posterior part with the soft palate. Whereas the upper part of this hard palate is formed by a bony plate. That bony plate is mainly formed by the palatine process of maxilla. You remember the palatine process of maxilla, premaxilla, and the horizontal part of the palatine bone. So this bony plate or upper part of the hard palate is formed by the palatine process of premaxilla, maxilla, and the horizontal part of palatine bone. So, so the anterior part is bounded with the dental pad, posterior part is continuous in the soft palate, whereas laterally it attached with the gum with the help of mucous membrane, and its upper part, of course, formed by some bony plate-like structures. That bony plate is formed by palatine process of premaxilla, maxilla, and the horizontal parts of the palatine bone. Okay. It is wider in rostrally and caudally. If you will see the picture, you see its rostral part and here is the caudal part. So in the caudal part and the cranial part have wide, it has wider, and middle portion is the narrower part. So hard palate has anterior and posterior wider portion and middle one is the narrower part. Okay. The anterior portion form prominent semilunar plate-like structures, that is dental pad, as I told you. Between these dental pad, we earlier also discussed, between these dental pad, a triangular structure is there, that is the papilla incisiva. This is the papilla incisiva. Between the dental pad, a triangular structure have this is known as the papilla incisiva. From this lateral to this papilla incisiva have the opening of the nasopalatine duct. Here, opening of the nasopalatine duct is situated. Another thing, if you will see the oral surface, what is the oral surface of hard palate? This one. This surface is the oral surface. This one is the oral surface of the hard palate. If you will see the oral surface of the hard palate, you see between just centrally you have a median line. You see one median line is there. In the middle portion of the hard palate, one median line is there. So this median line is called palatine raphe. This median line is called raphe or palatine raphe. This one. This central midline is called palatine raphe. Now, just lateral to the palatine raphe, you see the lateral to the palatine raphe, this one, this is the palatine raphe, and lateral to the palatine raphe, several rees are there. These rees are there. So, this rees is called palatine rees. This rees is called palatine rees. So, in the each half, if you will see the oral surface of the hard palate, you will get palatine rees or palatine rees and palatine rees, that is 15 to 20 in numbers. That is 15 to 20 in numbers. You see this one. This palatine rees is almost 15 to 20 in number. You have to remember this number. Okay. So this is the palatine rees. In case of the ox, this is about 15 to 20 in number. So these palatine rees are serrated at the free border. This has, you see, it has serration. It has, if you will see very minutely, you will get some serration in the palatine rees. This one, this is serration. So this palatine rees has the serration, serrated like appearance. Serrated like appearance in the palatine rees, that is the cornified papillae. Cornified papillae. Now the rees are present. These rees are present only in anterior 2/3 part. If you will see, this is the hard palate up to here. This is the hard palate. If you will see, these palatine rees are more prominently present in the anterior 2/3 part of the hard palate. But if you will see the posterior 1/3 part, its size is gradually become decreases, and here it is the indistinct. Here in the posterior part, this is the indistinct palatine rees. So in the hard palate of ox, you will get anterior 2/3 part have have very distinct palatine ridge, whereas in posterior to third part there is indistinct palatine ridge. Another thing, that is, uh, I told you a central prominence between the dental pad, that is the papilla incisiva, that is the papilla incisiva. Here in the papilla incisiva, the openings of the nasopalatine duct. Now this hard palate is lies opposite to the dorsal surface of the tongue. In the morning classes, we discuss about the tongue and the dorsal surface of the tongue. I told you the dorsal surface of the tongue is closely related with the hard palate. So here you see the hard palate lies opposite to the dorsum of the tongue. Hard palate is lies opposite to the dorsum of the tongue. So this hard palate assists the tongue during the prehension and the mastication. So this hard palate assists to the tongue during the prehension and the mastication, and also during the moving of bolus towards the oropharynx. I told you this tongue is the main prehensile organ in case of the ox. Now, if you will see in case of the horse, because I told you in case of the horse, there is no dental pad because upper incisor is there. Here, there are 6 incisor teeth in case of the horse. So the anterior boundary of the hard palate is formed by the dental arch. Likewise, lateral part of the hard palate also formed by the dental arch, because on the lateral side chick teeth is there and on the rostral side incisor is there. So laterally and the rostrally it form the dental arch. Now that if you will see the total number of ribs, total number of the palatine ribs, you see this is the palatine ribs, this is the palatine ribs, and this central one is the palatine raphe. And here this is the palatine ribs. Here in case of the horse, these ribs are the 16 to 18 pair. But in case of ox, I told you it is about 15 to 20 in number. Okay. Now this is another important thing. In case of the horse, you see there is no serration. In the palatine ribs. But in case of the ox, you see some serration is there, serrated like appearance. But in case of the horse, there is no serration. So this is the difference in the hard palate of horse with that of the ox. Now another thing, this hard palate or palatine in the hard palate of the horse, the palatine ribs are present in the entire length of the hard palate. You see, up to here, this is the hard palate, and in entire length there is palatine ribs. Unlike of the ox, because in the ox, in the posterior part there is indistinct or there is absence of the palatine ribs. Palatine raphe is deep. Here, palatine raphe is the deep. This palatine raphe is the deep. Another thing is that papilla incisiva is the oval and 2 depression just behind the first incisor. Here you see 2 depression just behind the incisor teeth. This is the incisor teeth, and you see behind the incisor teeth 2 small depression is there. This is the papilla incisiva. Papilla incisiva is situated just behind the central incisor teeth. But in case of the ox, that is situated in between the dental pad. Okay. Now, what about in case of the dog? In case of the dog, it is laterally and rostrally bound by the dental arch. Laterally and rostrally bound by the dental arch, like that of horse. Another thing, it is narrow rostrally. If you will see the hard palate, it is narrow rostrally and widest about the level of fourth cheek tooth. You see, if you will see the hard palate in case of dog, you see this one anterior part is the narrow and posterior one is the wide, and very wide at the level of fourth cheek tooth, very wide at level of the fourth cheek tooth, fourth cheek tooth. Now central raphe, I told you here, this is the central raphe. This central raphe is a very much prominent and it form a wreath-like appearance. It form a wreath-like appearance. This central raphe is very prominent in case of the dog. Okay, and it form a wreath-like appearance. Another thing, so you see the number of palatine wreaths are 6 to 10 in number. You can just count it with this one. This is almost 6 to 10 in number. It's vary from 6 to 10 in number. Okay. Now the rounded or triangular papilla incisiva lies just behind the first pair of incisor teeth. First pair of incisor teeth. Here is the first pair of the incisor teeth, and just behind this papilla incisiva is present, just like that of horse. Okay. So its mucous membrane is the pigmented. One important thing, in the caudal portion, just at the level of last cheek tooth, you will find the gland. That what type of the gland, what is the secretion of this gland, we will discuss in the histology part. Now in the hard palate of the pig, in case of the pig, it increase in width up to the level of tusk. Its size or its width is increased up to the level of tusk, and after that its width is constant. What I am telling, if you will see, you see here, this is the tusk of the pig. So the width of the hard palate is increasing from rostral to this level, from rostral to the level of tusk, it is increased, and just behind the tusk it is almost equal in size. What about the palatine wreaths? In case of the pig, there are 20 to 23 number of smooth palatine wreaths is present. You see, this is the palatine wreath. This one is the palatine wreath. This is smooth, and its number is varies from 20 to 23 pair. Raphe is the distinct raphe. This central portion, this is called the palatine raphe. This raphe is the distinct, and glands are observed in the rostral portion. If we will cut the section of this part, then we will found the glandular structure. Glandular structures we will discuss in the histology classes. Here, if we will cut the section of this part, we will found the gland, some glandular structures. Okay. Papilla incisiva. In case of the pig, papilla incisiva is elongated, and the nasopalatine duct, as like of other species also, nasopalatine duct is open in the papilla incisiva. This one is the papilla incisiva. This is papilla incisiva. Now, in small ruminants, you have to remember the number of palatine wreaths. In small ruminants like sheep and goat, there is difference in the palatine wreaths, difference in the number of palatine wreaths. In case of the sheep, there are 14 pair of the palatine wreaths. In case of the sheep, there is 14 pair of the palatine ribs, whereas in case of the goat, there is 12 pair of the palatine ribs. There is 12 pair of the palatine ribs. Gland is observed in the caudal portion. Glands are observed in the caudal portion, like the higher ruminants, like in the cattle. Also, the glands are present in the caudal portion. But in case of the pig, that glands are present in the interior part or interior portion. Important thing is that palatine raphe. Palatine raphe is the very prominent. Palatine raphe is very prominent. The rees is terminated at the level of second cheek tooth in the sheep and third cheek tooth in the goat. What I am telling, the palatine rees, this one. So this palatine rees, in case of the sheep, it is terminated at the level of third cheek tooth, and in case of the goat, it is up to level terminated at the level of second cheek tooth. Okay. Now the hard palate of the fall. Now, if you see, in case of the birds, this hard palate is the narrower and almost triangular structures. You see, this is the hard palate and this is the triangular hard palate. This is the narrower and the triangular. Now, in the hard palate of fall, anteriorly, in the anterior portion, you will find one median ridge. This one. This is the anterior median ridge. And posteriorly, we will have in the hard palate, you will find a slit-like opening. This one. This is a slit-like opening in the posterior part, and in anterior part there is median ridge. So in the hard palate of the birds, you will find in the oral surface, what you will find, one median ridge, and beside the median ridge, one posterior slit-like opening is there. That opening is communicated with the nasal cavity. So just behind the ridge, this one is the ridge, and just behind the ridge, you will find 5 transverse row of horny papilla. This is the horny papilla. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is the 5 horny papilla, 5 transverse horny papilla. This horny papilla, this is the horny papilla, this is the horny papilla, here is the horny papilla. This is 5 in number, and in transverse row of horny papilla just behind the median ridge is the specialty of the hard palate of fall. Here, this one is the median ridge, here is the transverse, this one is the horny papilla, this one 5 here, this one is the horny papilla. You see here, this is the roof of the oral cavity, here is the floor of the oral cavity. In morning classes, I discussed about the tongue. You see the tongue of the birds. You see I told you in case of the bird, there is triangular structures of tongue, and posteriorly you will find a transverse papillae. You see this one. Now next is the soft palate. This soft palate, I told you, this soft palate is the posterior continuation of the hard palate. So this is the musculomembranous structures, and posteriorly it continuation of the hard palate, and it separate the pharynx. It separate the cavity of the pharynx. How it is separating? You see, if you see the picture of the soft palate here, you see this is the oral cavity. Okay, here is the tongue. This is the section of the tongue. Here is the oral cavity, and here you see this is the section of the hard palate, and you see how they are going posteriorly. This one is the hard palate going posteriorly, and it's posteriorly it continuing in the soft palate. Posteriorly it continuing in soft palate. You see, this is the soft palate. So this is a shelf-like structures or posterior continuation of the hard palate that divides the pharynx. You see, this is the pharynx. This is the pharynx. This upper part and lower part. This is the pharynx. So this part, this soft palate, divides the pharynx into two parts: upper nasopharynx and lower oropharynx. So this is the nasopharynx because it communicates with the nasal cavity. So this is nasopharynx. Here it communicates with the oral cavity. So this is called oropharynx. So this is called oropharynx. Okay. I told you it is the caudal continuation of the hard palate. So, so, uh, so it extends from the pharyngeal cavity. It extends from the pharyngeal cavity and from the free border of the palatine bones. From the free border of palatine bones to the pharyngeal cavity. This soft palate divides the pharynx into two parts: nasopharynx and the lower oropharynx. So it presents oral surface and the pharyngeal surface. So it has oral surface and the pharyngeal surface, and attached border and the free border. Attached border and the free border. So you see this is soft palate. Okay. So this lower part of soft palate is called oral surface. Lower part of soft palate is called oral surface, and this dorsal part of this soft palate is called nasal surface. Is called nasal surface, and it has two border: attached border and free border. Attached border, of course, it is the continuation of the hard palate, and free border. This one is the free border. Free border is related with the, you see this conical structures. You see, this is the conical structures. This is the epiglottis. This is the epiglottis of the larynx. So this free portion is related with the epiglottis. Free portion is related with the epiglottis. So the ventral surface. So the ventral surface or oral surface from the roof of the oropharynx. Okay, like dorsal surface from the floor of the nasopharynx. From the floor of the nasopharynx. So it from the floor of the nasopharynx, because this is the nasopharynx, this is the oropharynx. So this portion from the roof of the oral pharynx, and here is from the floor of the nasopharynx. Okay. So this soft palate have two fold. Soft palate has two fold, that is called anterior pillar and the posterior pillar. Anterior pillar and the posterior pillar. Anterior pillar called the palatoglossal arch, and posterior pillar called the palatopharyngeal arch. Okay. So anterior pillar of soft palate is also known as palatoglossal arch. Name indicating it attaches the soft palate to the tongue. Soft palate to the tongue. And palatopharyngeal arch or posterior pillar, it gives attachment to the pharynx to the soft palate. Pharynx to the soft palate. Pharynx to the soft palate. So here it gives attachment to the pharynx to soft palate. Okay. So this is the anterior pillar and the posterior pillar. If you will see the palatoglossal arch, the soft palate, palatoglossal arch, soft palate, and the root of the tongue form the boundary of the isthmus possium. These three structures, palatoglossal arch, yani posterior pillar, anterior pillar, and soft palate and root of tongue, these three structures form the boundary of the isthmus possium. I told you isthmus possium. What is the isthmus possium? It is the nothing which is the communication between the oral cavity with that of the pharynx. Now palatopharyngeal arch meet at its same thing of other side and form the and passes over the corniculate process of arytenoid cartilage of larynx. Corniculate process of arytenoid cartilage of the larynx. We will discuss in detail about the larynx, about the cartilage of the larynx, that is epiglottis, arytenoid, hyoid, like that. So between the important thing, between the anterior pillar and the posterior pillar, between the anterior pillar and the posterior pillar, here is the anterior pillar at this level, here is the posterior pillar. Between the anterior and posterior pillar, you will find the tonsil sinus, tonsillar sinus. So in case of the ox, the and the tonsil is present in between the anterior and posterior pillar of soft palate. Now, in case of the horse, soft palate is exceptionally very long and free border is wedged against the epiglottis, You see, in case of the horse, you see, this is the hard palate, important thing. This is the hard palate, here is the soft palate, and its soft palate is very long and it goes up to the, this is the epiglottis. It completely close these things. So it completely close these things. So due to presence of very long soft palate in case of the horse, it prevents the oral breathing and the oral vomiting. Oral breathing and the oral breathing. How oral breathing? Here is the oral cavity. So this posterior part, soft palate, is very long. It goes up to the ear and close. So there is oral breathing is not possible. And the vomiting is also, in case of the horse, this oral vomiting is not possible. In case of the horse, oral vomiting is not possible. In case of the horse, vomition is occur through the nasal cavity due to presence of very long soft palate. You have to remember this thing. Okay. So in case of the horse, soft palate is very long. Now posterior pillar unite over the beginning of the esophagus. And another important thing, in case of the horse, tonsil is diffuse. Diffuse type of the tonsil. It means there is no accumulated lymphocytes is there. In case of the horse, there is no accumulated lymphocyte is there. Here, in case of the horse, there is a diffuse type of the lymphocyte is there. Now, next thing, in case of the dog, here tonsillar sinus is very large. If you will see the oral cavity of the dog, you will find one elongated shape. Tonsil is very easily visible when you will see the oral cavity of dog. Another thing, the soft palate is long, but it does not reach to the epiglottis. At the level of the epiglottis, like that of horse. Here you see this one. This is the soft palate. This is the hard palate. This is the soft palate. In case of the pig, the soft palate is the short. Thick, and its caudal border shows a conical rudimentary uvula. In case of the birds, soft palate is absent. In case of the bird, there is no soft palate. You have to remember this thing, why oral breathing is not possible in case of the horse. Why oral breathing is not possible in case of the horse? Why oral vomition is not possible in case of the horse? This is due to presence of very long soft palate. Okay. So this is about the soft palate and the hard palate. If you have any question regarding the soft palate, hard palate, you can ask me. नो क्वेश्चन?
नो सर।
आप लोग वेट मत करो, आप लोग जो भी पढ़ाया जा रहा है वो आप लोग पढ़ते जाओ, नहीं तो एक बार में पढ़ने में बहुत मुश्किल होगा। जो भी पढ़ाया जा रहा है आप लोग पढ़ते जाओ, जो परेशानी हो आप पूछते भी जाओ। लास्ट में इतने सारे कोर्स हो जाएंगे, पढ़ने में फिर सारे मुश्किल होगी। ओके, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर। थैंक यू सर।